Famed bodybuilder Craig Titus has been locked up for 10 years for the murder of his live-in assistant, Melissa James. His now ex-wife, Kelly Ryan, is up for parole next year, but Titus has up to another 30 years in prison. Cameras are not allowed in Lovelock Prison, where Craig Titus is locked up just outside of Reno, Nevada. But bars can't block his words in the 2 letters Titus sent to me. Craig claims he got a long prison sentence for second-degree murder because of his fame, writing he was a world-famous steroid-using professional bodybuilder. He denies having anything to do with the murder and goes on to reveal for the first time, "I wasn't even present when Melissa died in my home. The women were together after the fight. I was gone." His mother says it's the truth, and they claim to have the proof from a private investigator to back it up.
They had gotten into it, Kelly and Melissa.
Craig has a new attorney and is trying to appeal his conviction. Speaking for the first time and on her son's behalf, his mother, Sandra Hirschman, details what Craig told her happened the night of Melissa's murder. Starting from the knockdown, drag-out fight at Craig and Kelly's home, hours before Melissa was to board a flight home to Florida to see her mom.
She was tasered by Melissa.
There's evidence that Melissa was tasered 5 times.
There's no evidence of that. It's a damn dirty lie.
Craig's mom says her son thought his wife had been killed by Melissa.
Kelly was like she was dead on the floor after she was tasered, and Craig sobbed like a baby trying to revive her. And that's when it slammed Melissa.
However, this report, along with Melissa's autopsy, show how many times the taser was used. She says Craig told her both ladies were roughed up, but alive when her son walked out to get away from the fighting.
He left the house, and when he came back, she was dead with a needle hanging from her thigh.
Craig's mom says Kelly was the one who injected Melissa with the fatal dose of morphine. Craig and Kelly then tried to cover it up, throwing Melissa's body in the back of Kelly's Jaguar and torching the car in the desert. But when cops busted the couple, Titus accepted a plea deal for murder, kidnapping, and arson. In his letter to me, Craig writes, "I signed a deal I never should have signed."
I raised my kids too proper, I guess. I raised him too proper. I said, you know what? You promised your grandfather you would not take the rap for her, and you did it anyway, Craig. Why? He said, I loved her, Mother. I didn't want her to hang forever. I said, Jesus Christ, Craig. He said, you're going to hang forever.
Craig got up to 55 years. Kelly cut a plea deal for arson and assault and battery with a deadly weapon. Craig's mom is on a quest to fight what she calls a grave injustice. Her voice quivers at the thought of Kelly walking free as her son sits in prison for at least another decade.
I want them to know that my son is innocent and that he took the rap for his wife. And she claims to be a Christian, and she needs to be a Christian and tell the friggin' truth. She needs to tell the truth. That he did not kill her. He wasn't even in the house when she died. And she knows this. She even told this to her family. I want him out of there.
I couldn't reach Kelly or her attorney to confirm the claims she was home alone with Melissa when she died.
He's such a good boy. He's not a monster like they said. He's got a heart of gold.
Kelly divorced Craig while in prison. She could be paroled next year. If not, she's set to be free, released with time served in 2018. Melissa's mom believes both of the people who played a role in her daughter's death should rot in prison.
I really do think they should have had life in prison. I believe they're both equally responsible for what happened to Melissa.
Morris says she reaches out to the Nevada Parole Board every time Kelly is up for parole. She sends a picture of her daughter and reminds them of the life taken.
The lies continued. The truth, yeah. We'll probably never know the truth.
Prosecutor Robert Dasquez says because much of the evidence was destroyed in the fire, the coroner had to rule Melissa's death undetermined. But Dasquez says there's no doubt what happened to her.
Not only strong evidence of strangulation, but strong evidence that he and Kelly used a taser on Melissa. Strong evidence that they used a stun gun. Strong evidence that she was body slammed because that came out of Craig's mouth himself. Strong evidence that she was injected with morphine, had her head wrapped with duct tape, and then stuffed in the trunk of a car and burned. So the evidence against Craig Titus was overwhelming.
Dasquez says the common thread for all the lives destroyed in this case is a friendship with Craig Titus.
The bodybuilding world, it's almost like this cult following. And this case, more than probably any other, you can see the ripple effect. The damage and devastation that was caused really by Craig Titus. He didn't just take the life of Melissa James along with Kelly, he destroyed other lives.